Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's Unemployment California EDD Q&A live. We'll also talk about the Golden State stimulus. We can certainly talk about the Great Resignation, resume building tips, interviewing tips, personal finance, budgeting, all of that kind of stuff I love to talk about. Obviously, I'm not a financial expert, but I'd be happy if you guys want to talk about any of that kind of stuff. So, good morning. Linda says, I need financial advice. Perfect. But I'm not a financial advisor, but let's talk about your finances. You have $4,000 left on your Honda. You have about 13,000 in the bank. Lots of the extra 600 per week on EDD. Should I just pay off the car loan? Part of me wants to save as much money. Um, so here's what I would do instead. It depends on your interest rate, right? This is my personal opinion. If your interest rate is 4% or more, I would see if you can refinance the car loan, the auto loan. And the best places that I've found to do that are going to be credit unions. Now, a lot of times a credit union is going to have a name like First Navy Federal Credit Union, I believe it is, or First Entertainment Credit Union. And it's going to appear that you either need to be a member of the Navy or you need to be a member of the entertainment industry. In a lot of cases with credit unions, that's not the case. Refinancing, they don't normally, it's not like a house. Like a lot of times on a house, there's closing cost. Auto loans aren't like that. A lot of times you can just get your auto loan refinanced, and you can do that even if the rate is below 4%. I refinanced my car 3 times, and when I first bought it back in 2013, I wanna say the interest rate was 2%. Then I got an offer from a local Toyota dealership that they would give me $1,000 if I refinanced it, and it lowered my interest rate. And then everybody at my job started talking about First Entertainment Credit Union, and they were getting 1.69% interest. And here's something that I'm learning a lot about recently, which is of inflation, right? Like I understand that things go up and the dollar cost buys less, but basically inflation's going up 5%. So if your interest rate is anything below 5%, it actually does not make sense to pay off the car early. I know that there's a certain satisfaction in having a completely paid off vehicle, but what I would recommend instead is seeing if you can refinance it to a lower interest rate. And I'm just glad that you're using the money to pay off bills. I do like people to have a little bit of savings right now, though. We just don't know what's coming up in the future, and I really like having a savings account, if you can, because what if something like this happens again? I just would hate that. So I want to try and be prepared and encourage you guys to be prepared. And I am going to mention for savings that Yada Bank has a really good savings rate. And of course, the link's down below. Um, all right, Mark, good morning. Andrew, greetings. Oh, Honolulu. Hawaii is so beautiful, you guys. It really is. When I was very young, I won a trip to Hawaii through my job. That's another reason I love my job. They haven't done anything like that in a long time, though. But I stayed in the, I swear this is a real thing, the Odell's butter condo. Odell's makes butter for movie theaters. And so I stayed in their condo. It was not yellow, it was not butter themed. The only thing I found to reference that it was the Odell's butter condo is they did have like a book of post-it notes that said Odell's on it. So shout out to Odell's Butter for sponsoring the trip to my company and allowing me to go to Hawaii. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, Vanessa says, EDD was nice because I could save money and pay off bills and almost 30% of my car loan and other bills. I miss it. That's the thing, guys. There's so much about the Great Resignation, right? And I want to make something clear because one of my regular viewers was like, Shelly, don't tell people that their minimum wage job isn't good enough. And I am not saying that at all. I absolutely believe that you can still achieve your financial goals actually working your way up at any company. Um, so I am not dismissing entry level jobs. And some entry level positions are actually pretty good. You guys, I don't know if you saw this community post. The Dunkin' Donuts by my house says they're starting off at $17 an hour. That's nothing to sneeze at. Will it pay the rent in Los Angeles? That's another story. But um, you can really work your way up and still achieve your financial goals, even if you don't have like some six-figure salary. I will share with you guys, I'm not going to make six figures even with my YouTube income and my movie theater salary. It might be close for the first time ever in my life, but this is the first time I've ever had this opportunity. And I realize that most of you don't. At the movie theater, I pick up trash off the floor, I clean bathrooms, I get yelled at by guests, and I've been doing that for 25 years and I've purchased a house through it. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying that to say that when I was talking about the Great Resignation, right? A lot of jobs that even if you got called back to your job, or maybe even at the Dunkin' Donuts that's paying 17 an hour, the employees are doing more than they were pre-pandemic. That has been my experience. That's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm hearing from you guys. And it's hard. And so, what I was saying is that I understand why people are participating in the Great Resignation, why people are like, nope, I am not going back, so that you can now have me do the work of three people. And if your job is no longer satisfying, find another job first, but go ahead and look for another job. We're always supposed to have our resumes updated. So go ahead and update your resume. And guys, I am researching a lot. You guys told me in a poll that you guys want to find higher paying jobs, and I want to support that. So I've been talking to a lot of HR specialists, people that help you fine tune your resume. And guys, go to LinkedIn, add people that you've actually worked for or your friends who can vouch for you. Maybe put that you're looking for work on LinkedIn. I didn't realize how big of a player LinkedIn was. And I printed out this, it's the Harvard list of resume words. Da, 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 da. I always thought that like when they said like make your resume stand out, because this is how long it's been. I always thought that they meant like, ooh, put it on colored paper or add a picture. Those are huge no-nos. They just want like what's up with my lighting today? This is like what they mean. This does not stand out to me, but most people are applying online today. They're not applying. I got to fix this light. I got to get more lighting. Jenny loves when I roll off. So there you go. Is it even on? Is this going to be better? Okay. And guys, I did film my first video on my new iPhone 13. Okay, back to your questions. Prince Ali says, what's up? Will these streams mainly be about financial help and advice? I need that help too because I'm not the best with my finances. And that's why I named the channel Shelly's Millions, right? Good name for a finance channel. Not That's a kind of an insensitive name for everything that ended up happening with EDD. And I know a lot of people saw that name and they thought, Shelly's Millions, like, why is she talking about unemployment then? And that's fine. I get it. I probably would have thought the same thing. Just you guys know we had no idea this was going to go on this long back when I started the channel. So I love personal finance. I will talk your ear off about it. I'm not a financial expert though. Okay. Um my best friend is like, thank God you started YouTube. Maybe you'll find some people that actually want to listen to you on this stuff, because my my best friend has trouble saving money, and so they're just like, can you, like, they'll, when they need dental work or something, they're just like, can I give you $100 a week until I have enough to do it, and then you'll help me? And I say yes, absolutely. And then I put their $100 into the Yada savings bank, and I earn the interest on it. And then when, like, I'll call the dentist and like put the dentist on my credit card so that I get the points for it, and then I already have the money to pay off the dental work. I also love credit card churning. I'm just getting into that, like where you stack the points and like get the best possible money back. Um, I I do advocate trying to pay off your balance every month though. All right. Andy says he loves us all. It's good to see you, Andy. Hi, little Rambo. Andy's hoping we all get paid. Yes. Good morning, Michael. Oh, thank you. How is the new time on Jenny Silver's live? Um, Andy says, I hope we all find better jobs. Yes. Andy's going to court this Wednesday. Wish him luck. Good luck, Andy. Um, and Seve says, my pending payment says received. Now, what does that mean? Received on your California EDD unemployment certification, that normally is talking about they've received your certification. So that, like, you need to look at the payment status. And payment status is going to say things like pending, paid, not paid, disqualification, or NA. Those are most of the payment statuses on your unemployment claim. So received just normally means that they received your certification, not necessarily that they've acted one way or another on it. And guys, this seems like a good time to both remind you to like the video if you haven't already, and to let you know the assembly members can help sort out your unemployment claims oftentimes faster than the customer service reps at the California EDD. And I, of course, have that linked in the description down below. Guys, I haven't had a chance to try and call the EDD again yet. I got a report yesterday that someone tried to call after 5 and they were closed. I checked their operating hours. As far as I know, they are still answering the phone lines until 8 p.m. A lot of times, even during the pandemic, if the phone lines were too full to take any more calls, like if you weren't going to get through to the right rep, or like the wait time was so long, you could potentially call at like 5 p.m. and then it would say they were closed. And not that the operating hours are necessarily accurate that they put online, but it does still say that they're open until 8 p.m. You might not even need like a calling service like Claimer anymore. It might be that the volume has dropped enough that you might be able to get through on your own. And I really am itching to research that, but I have been super, super busy. Yeah, I'm grateful to be super, super busy as well. Okay. Jeffrey says, thanks for the content. You're welcome. Your EDD claim ends 11/07. Do they waive taking your first week when you reapply for a new claim? No, they don't. And remember that you're going to have needed to do some work since your original claim. So between November of last year when you originally applied and November 7th when this benefit year ends and you need to file a new claim, you will need to have had some attachment to the labor force in order to qualify for that new claim. And if you qualify for a new unemployment claim, they do make you do the waiting week now. So there will be 1 week where you're unemployed where they don't provide any benefits to you. Oh, Andy, you're going to get your son back on your birthday. Oh, I got to remember to change this from top chat to live chat. And then I lost my place. So this seems like a good time to ask you guys to like the video again. Mary says, any independent contractors? Is there any type of funds for independent contractors? Not in the terms of unemployment benefits anymore. Traditional unemployment benefits, which is basically what we're back to now, all of the pandemic programs have ended essentially. And unfortunately for independent contractors, gig workers, the self-employed, there was no unemployment benefits program. So if you need unemployment benefits and your only work is through self-employment, you wouldn't qualify for a new claim. Now there might still be grants and financial assistance in your specific industry. I don't know if there's still money left for that. So like, let's say that you were I don't know, a good example of an independent contractor. Let's say that like Jenny Silver was a wedding photographer. She was self-employed. We'll go with that because I know that's an example you guys all know. She could Google something like wedding industry grants. And when you're searching for grants and financial aid in your industry, so you would type in whatever your industry is, um, like Uber driver, right? There were some funds for rideshare drivers, I think is what they did. So search like rideshare grants. California, you want to do your state, your city, and your county. because there might be funding available through a program like that. Oh, so good luck on that. Thank you, Mary. Mary's saying in regards to stimulus for the independent contractors, that's all based on kind of your adjusted gross income. And I do have the link to the Golden State 2 stimulus calculator in the description down below. Okay, I'm going to scroll back up to where I left off, and then there's not too many questions, so I think we'll get to them all today, I hope. Okay. All right, so Andy is hoping to get his son back for his birthday. Yes, good luck on that, Andy. Shay says, I'm still waiting for the phone interview. Do you know how long I will need to wait to hear from them? I didn't receive any money since August because they say it's something about my wages and income. So I don't know specifically what the phone interview will be about. Normally, right, okay, so first of all, they're backed up about 18 to 20 weeks on those phone determination and eligibility interviews. So obviously, that's a long time to wait, and you've already been waiting since August. My recommendation to you would be to email your assembly member and say, I am experiencing financial hardship because the EDD stopped my payments back in August and they have not paid me the remainder of what I am owed. Is there anything that you can do to help push the payments through faster? So email them. Oftentimes, they're going to respond within 48 hours and they can get your unemployment claim fixed in about 4 business days. Sometimes people are reporting that it's even faster. So that's my recommendation there because the EDD is still backed up on the phone determination interviews, 18 to 20 weeks. And in terms of the wages and income, a lot of times it's the phone interviews. Everything I've heard, they're not anything to worry about. They're simple questions, usually surrounding why you left your last employer. With wages, it could be something like your employer reported this and you didn't. And then you would just explain why that happened. It should be something fairly simple on those phone determination interviews. Fear says, are there going to be refinancing fees though if you were to refinance a car loan? It's not free. Actually, on refinancing car loans, I don't know if you caught that at the end, most of the time they do not charge you a refinancing fee. And if they do, then that's not the bank you want to refinance through. Good morning, Debbie. Can I discuss EDD revised hours and call in number? Free version, best shot. So the call number, I'm going to still recommend that same one, which is 833-978-2511. And I don't know if you were in earlier, but according to their online information, they are still open until 8 p.m. 7 days a week, Monday through Sunday, not holidays. I remember when we were in the height of everything though, sometimes if the phone lines got too full, even though it wasn't 8 p.m. yet, they would tell people that they were closed, even though they really weren't. So as far as I know, they're still open. I do have a contact at the EDD now myself, and I will make sure to ask them. Lulu says, I haven't gotten my stimulus check. Is there a way to track it? There's not really a way to track that Golden State stimulus to payment, but they did say that payments now, even direct deposits, aren't expected to be completed until October 31st. And then if you filed like through H&R Block and you got a cash advance or a prepaid tax refund basically on one of their debit cards, then you would be expecting a paper check. And the paper checks are going to go out all the way through January 11th of 2022. So hopefully you'll be in the next batch of direct deposits. Good morning, Rich. Your wife left a comment on, or maybe it's your girlfriend, your wife, I think, left a comment on one of my videos the other day. And so that was really nice because I don't think I've seen her pop in before. Rich also watches Meet Kevin. Mitch, what do you think? Rich, what do you think about all of this Shiba Inu? You know what's funny is that all of the financial YouTubers, I think they're contracted with the stock trading platform Public. But you can't buy that coin there. You can buy it on Webull though, and I have that link down below as well. And I'm not saying that I endorse Shiba Inu coin because it's basically like a joke on a joke coin anyway, but I'm wondering what you think about that. Lulu. Yep, we did that one. Andy's reminding everybody to like the video. Thank you. Thank you. Billy, why? One day I'll figure out how to say that. Shay, how do I report my wages? So, each week when you certify for benefits, it should ask, did you earn any money, whether you were paid or not? And then you would report it there. But if you already have a determination interview, it just might mean that like there's something that your employer counted that maybe you didn't when you were certifying, like maybe a final paycheck or something like that. But if your unemployment claim is like all out of whack because of that, I do recommend emailing your assembly member. Andy says we all need to quit ASAP. This is the movement. No matter what, we can do this. We all need to be broke. No, we don't need to be broke. Don't quit until you find a new job. That's my advice. Good morning, Pamela. Oh, I love when you leave the hearts and the peace signs. Cadix World? Cat. I'm probably saying that wrong. As long as you get the job you're thankful for, no complaints. There's a lot of jobs you need to do now because of the pandemic. Yes. What about SSI and disability people? Are they getting anything? So instead of the Golden State Stimulus 2 as a payment, you should have got the Golden State Grant. And it is my understanding that all of those were already sent out. So look for payments that would be under the Golden State Grant. And disability. I'm not sure if the SSI disability claims qualified. Okay, but if they did, it would have already been paid out through a grant. Okay, so Luis says, so the golden is going to be sent by the last 3 of your area code. Is that true? If you're getting, it's your zip code, and that is if you're receiving a paper check. Yes. And I screenshotted that the other day. Don't tell me your zip code, but you can kind of just go online and Google that, and it'll pop right up with when that is. Let me see. I don't know if you guys will be able to see this even if I find it, but I will look. Okay, let's do the last 3. If your last 3 digits are end in 000 through 004, and you're expecting a paper check, you would get that 10/6 through 10/27. If your last 3 digits, anyway, I don't think you guys want to listen to me go through that, but I also don't share your last 3 digits of your zip code online. I don't know if that's dangerous, but don't do it. So for people whose last 3 digits of their zip code are 928 through 999, those are the people who are getting their paper checks 12/27 through 1/11/22. And I think the people getting direct deposits, it's more in relationship to when you filed your taxes. I think the direct deposits they're expecting to have complete by October 15th. 31st. It used to be October 15th. And now it's delayed. That was what my last video was about. How did I just say that wrong? Okay. Because it's still early and I got off late. Love, you are welcome. Thank you so much. So Mary is saying, the checks have started to go out and some people have already received them, but if you're expecting a paper check for your Golden State Stimulus 2, those are going out all the way through January 11th of 2022. And Mary also says my PUA claim ended June 12th, 2021, which EDD said I had no more benefits, even though I got an email in March saying I was extended for 29 weeks. My benefits ended. Should I apply again? So a lot of times your PUA claims should have been extended through September 4th when the program ended. Are you sure it wasn't PEUC? And some people did kind of mistakenly get put on PUA, and then they should have been moved back to PEUC once those weeks became available, and that should have taken you through the week ending September 4th. If you didn't get paid through September 4th, then yes, you need to contact them and try and get those payments. If your claim was truly PUA because you were gig worker, self-employed, something like that, then then you wouldn't qualify for a new claim. Because basically, if you were on PUA, that should mean that you didn't qualify for a traditional unemployment claim when you originally filed. So unfortunately, you wouldn't qualify now. Good morning, Catherine. Would I recommend getting a whatever job right away and possibly leave till the real job comes, or to continue to try and get the job you want? That's a really good question. And it's really going to depend on your comfort level and your personal finance situation right now. I think if you don't I think if you don't have 6 months of savings saved up, that it's probably a good idea to have some income right now versus no income and needing to dip into your savings. That is kind of what I think right now. And then have that income coming in so that you're not dipping into your savings as much. Plus, guys, like I want to kind of be honest, right? A lot of times when you haven't been at work in a long time, you're just kind of like might be feeling like a block almost, and getting back into the workforce, I think, is going to kinda, like, boost your self-esteem, your confidence, maybe if the job's not great, it'll give you that push to really keep applying. I think personally, I know that I don't wanna dip into my savings, so I think I would try and take an entry level job and then maybe try and work your way up. Catherine, what did you do before the pandemic? Maybe I don't know. Sometimes I'm good at thinking of stuff. Also, I really do encourage you guys to explore options to be your own boss. Now, like I mentioned, I've been doing YouTube all this time, and the income that I'm making from this doesn't come anywhere close to what I was making at my job. It's nice as a side hustle, but to truly be your own boss takes a lot of work. But if you're a creative person, like if you can design a t-shirt or do drop shipping or e-commerce or any of that kind of stuff, there seems to be a lot of opportunities there. And going forward, it takes time to build, but I would love to be my own boss. Then that way I'm not as reliant on any employer for my income. I'm only relying on myself. But that's a lot of work and very hard. Um, but worth pursuing. Uh-oh. Debbie called EDD on Saturday. Yeah, the recording says closed and then open again on Monday. I just tried to call right now, and it said that they were like, it didn't say that they were closed. I'm gonna have to try and call again when we get off this call because their online information still says that they're open. And I lost my place, guys. So that means please like the video. Yeah, I will check into that because as far as I know, they're still open all 7 days a week, 8 AM to 8 PM. Oh, wait, am I caught up? I am. Well, Mary says an overpayment. EDD never contacted me about an overpayment, no notice or anything. What can I do? Please help. Again, any of these more complex issues, your assembly member is really going to be your best bet is to email them and ask for their help sorting it out. Aw, thank you, Mary. Oops. Randeep says, "What about Google training certification?" Yes, Jenny Silver made a video about that, um, which I have not had time to watch. I'm really behind on a lot of the YouTube videos that I wanna watch, but I absolutely recommend doing that. I do hear that after you do the Google certification, right? So you're gonna go on to Google. I know a little bit about it, right? And I wanna make a video on it too, and I told her when she published that, I had screenshotted it to remind myself that I wanted to make a video on that. I was like, "Jenny, you beat me to it," like she often does. But yeah, those jobs, if you do the Google certifications, you can make between like 60,000 and like 100,000 after doing the certification. So that's another option is to get the training, to get the higher paying job. And I believe I'll probably have to reference Jenny's video or do my own research. I don't think you have to pay anything for those Google certifications. So, absolutely, I recommend that. Okay. Anything, even when they're talking about investing, right? And your finances, they say the number one thing is to invest in yourself. They say if you only have $1,000, like all of the finance information that I've looked into says if you only have $1,000, invest in yourself. Be it and go to the library, check out some books. That's totally free. Watch YouTube videos on a career that interests you. See what it's really like. Check out those Google certifications. Watch Jenny Silver's video on that. She has that already. Yeah, Pamela's saying that they're free. And then I think they only take about 6 months to complete, is what they say. And then you're qualified for like these $60,000 to $100,000 jobs. Now, there's also, right, I would love if I had the aptitude to do computer coding, right? Because that really pays a lot of money. And there are also lots of free programs to help you learn computer programming, but unfortunately that's not I'm really good at math, so I feel like I should be good at computer programming, but I'm just not. I don't know if it's just that I'm kind of intimidated by the actual equipment or what it is, but yeah, so really, really look into the Google certifications. Okay, I'm gonna scroll back up. Joseph, I am doing well, thank you. Joseph helped me set up my original iPhone 13 Pro that didn't work, and now I have one that does. I filmed my first video on that, Joseph. I posted it Friday. It's really short. I don't know if it showed it to everybody, but maybe watch that just to see how the new blurry background looks. And right now I'm just using my webcam to film. Um, Okay, so Mary, if you were PUA the whole time, unless you're not in California, there were some states that ended the PUA unemployment benefits early, but here in California, you should have got your money through September 4th. And if you didn't, I really highly recommend contacting your assembly member and having them help you with that. Sarah, you worked a long time with W-2. Do you think you're going to be eligible to receive an extension? So there's not any more unemployment extensions. It's either you qualify for a new claim or you don't. But you did need to have attachment to the workforce since opening your original claim. So, for example, someone was asking me about the date their claim's going to end November 7th. And the only way that you're gonna qualify for a new claim is if you've had some attachment to the workforce since your original claim. So I know that a lot of times people were encouraging you to go back and look at your base period and all the different quarters, which that still can come into play, but only if you've had attachment to the workforce. If you haven't had any attachment to the workforce since filing your original claim, unfortunately, you don't qualify for a new claim. And I think that was really confusing to people because, um, well, your benefit year hasn't ended yet. But yeah, it just depends on if you've done some work, and the some work needs to be at least $1,300 since your original claim. But yeah, if you haven't done any work, you're not going to qualify. Susanna says, if I received backdate from December 6th, can I backdate again towards the beginning? No, it sounds like you filed your claim after December 27th of 2020. And if that's when you filed your original claim, the furthest back you could go is December 6th. Let's say though that you applied before December 27th. Let's say that you applied December 15th, but for some reason you only requested a few weeks of backdating to December 6th. Then, since you first applied before December 27th of 2020, then you could request further backdating up to 15 months. But if you filed after December 27th of 2020, the furthest back that you could request the backdating is December 6th. Okay. Donald says, Donald says, I couldn't get online under unemployment benefits because it said information didn't match, which I know is correct. I even updated my password and it still wouldn't let me on. I did the paperwork. A couple things to try. Can you try clearing your browser history on your phone or your computer? Can you try, if you normally log on from your phone, can you try logging on from a computer, if and vice versa, if you normally do it on the computer? Try logging on from your phone, try logging on from a friend's computer or phone, like basically something that's not holding your information. A lot of times that works. And um, if that doesn't work, you are going to want to call the EDD to get that sorted out. And you're actually probably going to want to call the technical support number. And in that case, you're going to want to watch Jenny Silver's video called 25 Numbers to Call to get that technical support number. And what else? And if that none of that works and you don't want to call the EDD, email your assembly member to see if they can help with that. Sarah says, what is dead time for unemployment update? Maybe I'm not sure. There's not really any unemployment updates right now, except for that they're not really giving us any. It seems like for most of us, everything has ended. Oh yeah, Edward is also saying try the 134 trick, which so what you're gonna do is you're gonna call the EDD. You're gonna, which the number that I call is 833-978-2511. You're gonna listen to the long, long, long intro message, and then after that, quickly hit 134, boop, boop, boop. Not option one, not then option three, option four, not that. Really quick in a row, 134, boop, 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 134. That's working a lot. Okay. Okay, so Mary said that she did contact her assembly member and was told that the remaining funds were used for an overpayment that I was never informed about. So in that case, if it was for an overpayment, you would need to file an appeal. And the appeal process, I'm not going to lie, is backed up about at least 6 months. So, but here's what you're going to do. Step one, you're going to respond to your assembly member and say, I never received the overpayment notice. Can you get me a copy of that? Can they send me a copy of that? Because I'm going to want to file an appeal. That's step one. Step two, you are going to want to call them and request the appeal paperwork. Yeah, so if they're saying that they didn't pay the remainder of your funds due to an overpayment, because of the wage information, then you're definitely going to want to appeal that. But I think you also said that you had a phone determination or eligibility interview. So maybe that's why they haven't sent you appeal paperwork yet. So I guess what I'm saying is be cautious of requesting the appeal if you know that you're also waiting for the phone determination interview. Um, I don't want to have your claim get more messed up, but I do know with appeals, there's normally a short turnaround to request one. So maybe in this case, the best advice would be to again reach out to the assembly member and say, "Hey, I was never informed about this potential overpayment. Um, I am waiting on a phone determination or eligibility interview, but I don't want to miss the deadline to appeal and ask them what they would advise in this situation. And I'm so sorry that your claim is going through that." Um, yeah. Sybil says, good to see me. Thank you. The status tracker says I'm PEUC tier 2. I have a $1,548 balance. Do I reapply? EDD says max benefits paid. Will they let me know when to certify? So if your last payment type was PEUC or tier 2, so you won't have access to that claim balance, you would have to see if you were eligible for a new claim. If you were on PEUC tier 2, then your benefit year probably already ended. So, what happened when your benefit year ended and you filed a new claim? If nothing has changed since you first filed the new claim when your original benefit year ended, you wouldn't qualify for the new claim now. You can try reapplying. In some cases, the EDD is popping up like an error message, and it's letting you know, hey, we already can tell you don't have enough earnings to qualify for a new claim. Because employers do report quarterly wages to the EDD. So a lot of times the system just kind of already knows, and it's not even going to let you file a new claim. But if it will let you, nothing would prevent you from trying to file a new claim. But just know that unless something has changed since your original benefit year ended, you still wouldn't be approved for the new claim. And unfortunately, the remaining balance on your unemployment claim is essentially forfeited, and not four-footed, forfeited and returned to the federal government. All right. Peter says, you're late, but you fixed a few weeks, which came out to around 3,160. But during the phone call, I told them the previous year was fraudulent. Your last year and your card said it would look like check because of these issues. Weeks later, did my next week's say zero? Zero paid, and you called back, but the money gone. You filed a claim with them last week, got a new card today. Will I get back what was taken? You should. That again sounds like, I'm so sorry that happened. And again, anytime, honestly, when your claim gets complicated like that, so it sounds like you had a card, and were the funds taken from the card, or I'm not sure about that. So I would call the Bank of America to try and sort that out, but also enlist the help of your assembly member. And I hope they do get that money returned to you. But that sounds like the funds were missing off of the Bank of America EDD debit card. And if that's the case, then you're going to want to sort that out with the Bank of America. Okay, Jason says, you have a 60-year-old friend that needs rent assistance. What can I do to help her? You're going to go to Housing is Key, maybe housingiskey.com, and go through that online form with her. I know, and you're so sweet that you're going to help your friend. And I know, right when my mom started to get that age, she's getting better, guys. She's figured out how to send pictures. She calls them like emojis and gifs. Um, in her text messages. But when she was first kind of like getting familiar with computers, like it was a mess, and sometimes the questions, and sometimes it's just overwhelming and you need a friend to help you. So yeah, you're just going to go to housingiskey.com. That's going to redirect to like housing.ca.gov possibly. But it's the same site, and just help her apply on that. And what a nice friend. Hi, Bonnie. Alexander Hamilton. We were singing in the room where it happened at work the other day, and then I got it stuck in someone's head, because that's the kind of coworker I am. You're having trouble with unemployment. Last year in March was the last time I worked. I worked, my unemployment expired in June. I made $7,500 for March. They say I don't qualify. Why is that when they say 18 months? Okay. And this is kind of, I was just talking about this, where it's really confusing. Like, don't even bother looking back those 18 months. You need to have some attachment to the workforce since filing your original claim. So between March 2020, when you originally filed, and now, you would need to have had some work, some attachment to the labor force since opening that original claim. And if you haven't worked at all, which is the case for a lot of us, right? They were like, our jobs closed, we're furloughed, we weren't called back. We're looking now and haven't gone back. Many of us have not had any work since we first became unemployed back in March of 2020. But unfortunately, if you haven't done any work since opening your original claim, it doesn't matter about the 18-month time period. You need to have had some attachment to the workforce in order to qualify for a new claim. So that's why, and I'm so sorry about that. And the EDD is not clear about that. And that's what's even more frustrating. Scotty says, hello, Scotty. It's good to see you. Peter, oh yeah, we did yours. Sarah says, oops, could make you clear more. You couldn't understand the attachment to the workforce. So yeah, you just have had to, even though they were like, stay home, you're furloughed, you're laid off, we're not bringing you back. in order to qualify for a new claim, to have 2 back-to-back claims, they don't approve that unless you've gone back and done some work. So that's what the attachment to the workforce means. And that's why for Alexander Hamilton, um, that's why they're telling him he doesn't qualify as well. Hi, Amy. Hi, MBA. If you want to help people get jobs, recommend Indeed. Yes, Indeed is a good source, and he's got it spelled correctly. Additionally, I'm really hearing that LinkedIn is a good source, and I guess I just never really knew, and I guess you kind of want to keep that updated. Add contacts, add previous coworkers, add your previous bosses, follow companies that you are interested in working for, like Tesla. Um, Wherever you're interested in working, go and follow those companies on LinkedIn and make sure that like your profile picture is professional and all of that. But yeah, Indeed. Do people still use Craigslist to find jobs anymore? Glassdoor for salary information. But yeah, I think Indeed is the main one people use. Snag a Job, I think it's called now. So yeah, definitely check out all those resources. I need coffee. So when I take a sip of coffee, you guys please like the video. Hi, Black Dragon Jazz. I haven't seen you in a little while. I like the little wavy emoji. May says, I certified last night and I got a message saying these 2 weeks are disqualified. I don't understand what went wrong on my end. I'm not sure either. I know that a lot of times when did your benefit year recently end? So a lot of people, their benefit years are coming to an end right now. And what happens is it will let you certify on your old claim, but really you're supposed to be certifying on a new claim. That can be it. Did you answer the I imagine you've answered the certification questions the same as you always have. Um, if it's a new claim, have you signed up for Cal Jobs? Did you enter your work history? I know that your work search history. I know that for a while they were allowing us to keep track in another method our work search activities, but now I believe they do want those online. Okay. Jason, you're welcome. We qualified for the Golden State Stimulus, but didn't receive it. What should I do? So they're still sending them out. So direct deposits are going to continue to go out through October 31st of this year. And if you're expecting a paper check, so like if you used H&R Block to file, for example, and then you got one of those prepaid debit cards from them or cash advance from them on your refund, then you're getting a paper check. And the paper checks are going to continue to go out all the way through January 11th of 2022. So I wouldn't necessarily worry about it just yet. I do notice that you said we qualified. So I do want to remind everybody that the $600 is per couple. And if you got the Golden State Stimulus, the first one, then you don't qualify for this one. So I'm only asking since you said we. So did someone that's part of your couple already get the 600? If so, then you would not be expecting an additional 600. Nate says, I applied for unemployment August 20th. I still haven't received a determination letter or any news. Are they backed up that much? Thank you. August 20th. They shouldn't be quite backed up that much. So in that case, you've got a couple options. You can try calling the EDD or emailing your assembly member and just say, hey, I applied August 20th and I haven't heard anything. That is a long time. It's really only supposed to take about 3 weeks. You haven't gotten any letter in the mail. It's not just not letting you certify because the whole process takes about 3 weeks. Then there's a waiting week, and then they also are like verifying sending your claim to a third party for review, which also takes 3 weeks. But yeah, it's been over a month at this point. It's been almost 2 months. So they really should have let you know something by now. So yeah, either call them and say, hey, I just want to make sure that you got my application. And then if they did say, hey, well, when am I going to hear anything about it? And then since calling's so frustrating, that's why I'm just like, just email your assembly member. And I have that linked in the description down below. Killa says, I emailed an assembly member and never got a response. What should I do? It's been about a week. I would send a follow-up email. I would say, hey, and this is why I like email versus calling. I would just re-forward that email and I would say, hey, I reached out to you about a week ago. I haven't heard anything. Do you have any updates for me? And then I'd give it about another week. And if they still haven't responded, regardless of who your specific assembly member is, the office of Lorena Gonzalez. Man, what is wrong with me? The office of Lorena Gonzalez. She is the assemblywoman for San Diego. Her office has been really great at helping people who aren't even part of her district. So follow up with your assembly member. And then if you don't hear back, go ahead and email the office of Lorena Gonzalez. May says it is a new claim. You're welcome. Okay, hang on, May. Let me scroll back up and look at that. Hold on. I want to make sure that I got the information right since it's a new claim. Where'd that go? Sorry, I want to make sure I gave May the right answer, and now I'm not seeing her original comment, which I know is here. Okay, there it is. Okay, so May, if it's a new claim, yeah, God, I hate this. So this is not gonna, yes, Lorena, okay, couple things. So I hate to tell you this. Well, May, it's a good thing that it's the new claim, but you are going to need to call and get that sorted out. That should just be what it is. They're accidentally bringing up the wrong claim for you to certify on. That is not your fault. This is something that happened a lot in the past. Like, it would bring up the old claim for you to certify on, but you're really supposed to be certifying on the new claim, or it would bring up the new claim and you were when there were extensions and you were really supposed to be certifying on the old claim. So if you call them, you're going to have to get it switched so that you can certify on the right claim and get paid. And keep an eye on those weeks, because when they switch you to the correct claim, the new claim, it's possible that you're going to need to certify for these 2 weeks again, and that you might need to request backdating. So just kind of keep an eye on that to make sure that you get all your weeks paid. Once you call and explain to the EDD, and that's the thing that I hate to tell you, is that you do need to call to get that sorted out. You can try an assembly member, but in this case, calling actually might be a little bit faster, provided you can get through. And Amy is saying that okay, I don't feel as bad since I said Lorena Gomez, since you misspelled her name too. Okay, but yes, Lorena Gonzalez has just been so wonderful. She's also battling breast cancer right now, but like, her office is still continuing to help everybody. But I just can't thank her enough. Like, she has really been like an all-star in this. Okay. Coin says, I got through this past week on the EDD hotline. The lady was helpful and nice, but she said she would put the pending payments through. Can the tier 2 be wrong with what she said? Thank you. Yes, they can. A lot of times, it was kind of thought that the reps just said whatever to get people off the phone. A lot of times, though, if it was just this past week, I know a lot of times they do say allow 7 to 10 business days. But a lot of times the reps would tell us things and then it just wouldn't be true. And I wish that that was not my answer for you. So I would wait 10 business days to see if the pending payments get pushed through. And if not, just don't call them again. Email your assembly member and say, hey, I have all these pending unemployment payments from the EDD. I called, the customer service rep said she would push those payments through, but she didn't. Can you please help me get those pending payments paid? And they should be able to do that for you. But yeah, they can be wrong, unfortunately. Unfortunately, they were wrong a lot of times. So frustrating. Okay, Black Dragon Jazz says, I got both GS1 and to because you had a dependent. You finally got mine recalculated state and Fed income tax refund. You also got your EIDL grants and an EIDL loan. That is amazing, and I'm so glad to hear that. So hopefully that'll carry you over for a while, but that's good news. Yeah, I should say that. So, um, if you got the Golden State Stimulus one for $600, but you also have a dependent or 10 dependents, and it can be an adult dependent, then you would get $600 for yourself and then a total of $500 for any dependents that you might have under the Golden State Stimulus 2 program. So 600 the first time, then $500 the second time for all of the dependents combined. All right. Guys, this is I'm gonna go off topic for a minute because I'm almost caught up on the questions. But are you guys watching Squid Games? I am scared to watch that. Like maybe I need to bring my mom over there and we need to watch that together. I am not sure she can see subtitles. And also, how is Squid Games different from the movie Battle Royale? Like, is it? It just seems like it's the movie Battle Royale, which if you haven't seen that and you like Squid Games, you should watch that. But is it scary? Like, is that something that I can watch by myself? Because that's really what I feel like doing today. I don't feel like filming or I just want to veg out and not worry, but think that it might be scary to watch Squid Game. So if you guys have watched that, let me know. Is it scary? Like I like Disney. I don't like Squid Games, I don't think. Although I've seen Battle Royale and it's a good movie. And can my mom read the subtitles if I bring her over? Because I'm too scared to watch it by myself. Anyway, okay, back to your questions. Priscilla, we'll do yours really quickly. So the number to call the EDD is 833-978-2511. The best times to call are still between 8 a.m. and 8:15 a.m. And then a little bit later in the afternoon from about 2:30 to 4 p.m. You're going to listen to that long intro message and then hit 134. Boop, boop, boop. 134, not option 1, option 3, option 4, not like that. 134. Boop, boop, boop. 134. And then that should get you through to hold without using a service like Claimer. Okay. All right. Thank you, Francis. And it's good to see you. Look, my hair, I feel like is still okay. Not when I do that, but I feel like my hair is still looking good. It's probably time for a trim, but it's not long enough yet. Francis did my hair for me. She was the first one to do my hair after the pandemic. Okay. Priscilla, you are welcome. Okay. So Sarah says, do I know when the government will update about unemployment and stimulus? Oh, it keeps saying, what is the death time? But I think you mean deadline. So here's the deal on the government and stimulus. And this is so frustrating about a lot of other channels, right? Is that they really try and clickbait you guys. The only thing in the stimulus package, and I say that in quotes, I'll get to that in a second, that has to do with unemployment benefits is potentially like updating the computer software, potentially making it so that in the future, self-employed and gig economy workers would qualify for unemployment benefits. Um, but in terms of an unemployment extension, they're not talking about putting that in the stimulus package. So they're just kind of talking about overhauling the system, not getting any more money into the hands of the people. As a matter of fact, the jobs report numbers, well, the September jobs report numbers are not that great, but the unemployment rate nationally is coming down because it's not counting a whole lot of people. And that's a whole another video to get into. But it's not counting a lot of people in that number, but the numbers on paper are showing that the unemployment rate is coming down. And then the spending report just came out, and that is up. And partially that's because of inflation, but it's showing good numbers on all the metrics that they gauge to decide if we need more unemployment benefits. The numbers on paper that the government is using, they look good. I say that I put that in quotes too, because we know the other side of that, like that there's just a lot of people that they're no longer even counting in those unemployment numbers. And so that's frustrating. Anyway, stimulus. I put stimulus in quotes because this is not really a stimulus package that they're voting on. I know that every other YouTuber is pretty much calling it that, but it's an infrastructure package. It is the $3.5 trillion infrastructure package. And how this is going to stimulate the economy is it's supposed to create a lot of jobs. There's not any additional stimulus money coming from the federal level. If there were more stimulus money, it would need to come from the individual states. And so that's what they're saying. Like, that's what all the news headlines say. Is your state going to give you a fourth stimulus check? Is like how the national headlines read. But California has already given us a fourth stimulus check in the form of that $600 Golden State stimulus or Golden State Stimulus 2 payment. So if you're in the state of California, there's no more unemployment extensions. There's no more stimulus checks even being talked about. Yeah, Francis, I 100% agree with you. Um, the way to send the signal to the politicians that things are not going well is to not spend your money right now. Don't do it. And I know a lot of you, we're going to talk about this right now. We're going to talk about Christmas. And Francis, I know you've got gorgeous daughter and a couple of sons. Um, they are not going to remember the gifts that you get them. Well, they're a little bit older now, so maybe they will. But young kids, like kids that are 4 to like, let's even say 14, they are not, when they're my age, when they're 44, and probably your 17, 18-year-olds, your 20-year-olds, when they're my age, they are not going to remember what you got them for Christmas. So don't worry about that. Give them family time, spend time with them. Um, that's what they're going to remember. They're going to remember that bad grandpa, who I didn't see in here today, he's probably driving his truck. So hi, bad grandpa, if you're watching this later. Bad grandpa told his kids that Santa had to be careful about the illness last year and wouldn't be able to bring them as many presents, you know? But they'll remember that he told them a funny lie, but they're not going to remember like what they did or didn't get that year, you know? Like my mom likes to play Monopoly and she's very good at it. So make memories. You know, you can rent a fun Christmas movie from the library. It's free to rent movies from the library. So make those memories with your family and don't worry about what you can or can't buy them. Um, Go to the dollar store. My mom always gets me socks. I do remember that. I don't remember which specific pair, but she still to this day gets me socks. But she will grab an empty like toilet paper roll, like the cardboard roll from your toilet paper, and she'll stuff the socks in there. Um, she'll put something in a really big box and it'll still be like a pair of socks. But like gifts do not matter, but your kids will remember that you put their socks in a toilet paper roll holder. And then that'll be a funny story. And it doesn't matter like how much the socks cost or anything like that. So you can definitely do the holidays on a budget, and I don't want you guys worrying about that. Okay. Let me scroll up and do the unemployment questions, and then I'll see what you guys say about the Squid Games. All right. SC Lindsay says, I was on unemployment till 9/11, and I was told the last week I need a surgery and set for tomorrow. Do I qualify for short-term disability? Looks like I won't be able to return to work for 12 weeks till I am released. All right, SC, I have to be honest. I should know about this by now, and I'm an employer. Luckily, that means that I haven't had very many employees who have needed time off for a medical issue. You know, this is funny too. When at my company, right, I can only speak from my personal experience. I know that at my company, when we sign up for health and benefits, it asks if you want uh, S STD benefits, right? Short-term disability. But you guys, I don't know if it's my generation or what, but when I saw did I want STD insurance or benefits, I didn't think of short-term disability. I was like, I thought that was covered in regular health insurance, the other thing that STD stands for. Um, so at least at my employer, the STD benefits, short-term disability benefits, is something extra that you need to enroll in when you're making your healthcare elections. Now, sometimes there is paid family medical leave. So you might want to FMLA, family medical leave. What's the A stand for? FMLA. But I don't know if that's generally for like maternity leave and baby bonding. I don't know a lot about that though, so I don't want to speak to that. But definitely there should, well, I don't want to say definitely. There should hopefully be some programs available to you though. And definitely Google. I hate to be like, "Oh, Google it," but I'm just not sure if that will be covered. Don't rush back to work. Maybe see if you can do any work from home. Um, Let me think what else. If you don't qualify for short-term disability and you're not back to work, apply for rent relief and rental assistance through housingiskey.com. Also, make sure to sign up for food stamps, CalFresh, SNAP, EBT. So that's all the same program, but everybody calls it all sorts of different things. Make sure to sign up for that. Um, and yeah, good luck to you, speedy recovery, and I will try and look into that more. I'm really behind on the amount of things I'm supposed to look into. Um, but I'm glad that you're able to have the surgery that you need and you're going to get through this no matter what the answer is. Okay. Uh Edward's saying it's a strange movie. Squid Games. Francis is saying it's good and not scary and watch it. Your mom loved it. Francis, did your mom have any trouble with the subtitles at all? Because I think our moms are kind of around the same age. My mom seems a little older than your mom, though. Priscilla, you're welcome. Oh, Catherine, you watch Squid Games reaction videos. It will make me feel tense and my heart rate will go up. Well, maybe I don't want that because at my job, um, my heart, like, it's been stressful. I understand the Great Resignation. Not slamming jobs. I don't know. We're just doing a lot. It's a lot. Um, but I'm very grateful to be back at work. But my stress level is pretty high. Okay. Pac-Man says, is October 31st the last batch of California stimulus? For direct deposits, yes. But the paper checks are going to continue to be mailed out through January 11th of 2022. Debbie says, the recording says unavailable. Try 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. Third attempt hung up. Seems like the prompts have changed. Please advise and see what I think. Okay, I will do that and I will also email. I actually tried to call like right before, but then I pressed the wrong thing. I pressed that I wanted to certify like through telecert instead of the other thing. So yes, I will check into that. And I'm so sorry. What are other watchers? I haven't seen, Jenny Silver is normally on this. So that's surprising to me. Um, so yeah, I will call right after this and maybe make a video on it. Um, if I find that to be true. Marlon says, if I made zero, still filed, will I get the Golden State stimulus? It depends on a couple things. Everybody's situation is different, but I will say that the information that I am seeing is that if unemployment benefits were your only source of income, then you wouldn't qualify for the Golden State stimulus. And then let me also see something else. Hold on. Boop, 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 boop. Hold on one second. Okay, hold on. I just texted I messaged Jenny Silver about this, so I'm gonna consult those messages. And for some reason, I like mainly just talk to her on Instagram. Okay, so income excluded from eligibility for the Golden State stimulus. Generally, these are not included in your California AGI. But again, it says generally, which leaves some wiggle room, right? And then let's just scroll to the bottom. It says you would generally not qualify for Golden State Stimulus 2, it says GSS 2, if these were your only sources of income. However, if you have income that is included in CA AGI, your California Adjusted Gross Income, in addition to this list, you may qualify for Golden State Stimulus too. So the types of income that are generally, and the word generally allows some wiggle room, excluded from California AGI are Social Security, CalWorks and CalFresh benefits, supplemental security income, SSI, slash state supplementary payment, SSP, and cash assistance program for immigrants, CAPI, state disability insurance, SDI, and veterans disability benefits. And the last one, unemployment income. So, according to this, generally, if the only income that you received was unemployment income, unemployment benefit income, you would not qualify for the Golden State Stimulus 2. You would need to have had some other types of income in order to qualify. Okay, hold on. Francis. Oh, make cookies. The media is brainwashing us to buy ahead of time. They're low in stock. Yeah. Bake cookies with your family. Now, my mom's diabetic, but she would probably love if I made her like if we made some sugar-free stuff. But I found with my mom, you guys, this is terrible. But so I'm gonna stream on Thanksgiving for anybody that feels like they doesn't anybody that feels like you don't have family. I will go live once on Thanksgiving. Last year I went live twice on Thanksgiving. I won't do that. That was too much. Uh, but with me and my mom, it is best if we're not in the kitchen together. Um, I think she says I'm too picky, and she says that's why she doesn't live with me. She's like, "You'll yell at me if I don't clean right." And I was like, "Well, that might be true." But baking cookies, I have to stay out of the kitchen. So on Thanksgiving, I go to work because I'll get time and a half too. But, I will go to work on Thanksgiving. My mom and my best friend will cook, and then I'll come home and Thanksgiving will be ready. But then I don't see what happens in my kitchen, and my mom's oven doesn't work, so that's what she kinda has to come here and cook. And she likes to cook Thanksgiving, and then I like to not be in the kitchen when she's here cooking. Um, okay. But yeah, just do something with your family. Cook a meal. Learn to cook something and then cook that every year. Cook something non-traditional on Thanksgiving, like make lasagna Thanksgiving tradition or something like that that will create memories. Okay. Sarah says, so where are we going to spend 3.5? It's not billion, it's trillion, trillion with a T if they don't give it to us. So first of all, they're saying that the 3.5 trillion is too high and it's not going to be approved. But, everything that they wanna build and, like, I'm gonna use Hurricane Katrina as an example, right, in Louisiana. When the levee broke, right? I might be getting my facts a little bit wonky about this, but the infrastructure package, right? There are a lot of things that are not in good repair. Like that hotel that just or that it wasn't a hotel, it was apartments in Florida that collapsed, right? There are things that are not safe that need repair. So the inf or like long-term problems that we need to address now. And those things take a lot of money to spend, to repair, and to get approved. So that is my understanding of the types of things that are in the infrastructure package. And think about like how much it would cost. There's drought problems and all of this and all of that takes a lot of funding to address. So those are the types of things, not specifically, but things like that. And then there are like every program, just when you look at it on a national level, takes a lot of money to fund. So they have to figure out how to provide that funding and that's in the infrastructure package. So not specific money to us, but they do think it will eventually stimulate the economy and be better for the people because all of these things should create more jobs. That's my loose understanding of it. Okay. I'm gonna just do a couple more questions and then I'm gonna head out for the day. Okay, so we'll do Debbie Hall's movie question last. I'm not there yet. And yeah. So, but I'm at Carolina's question. When is the next batch for Golden State Stimulus to direct deposit? It's my understanding that those are actually going to go out on the 31st. And that's going to be the last date that they think the direct deposits will hit is October 31st. Of course, they could revise that estimate again and have more headlines about a further delay. But as of right now, October 31st is when they think the direct deposits for the Golden State Stimulus 2 checks will be complete. If you're waiting for your Golden State Stimulus to through an actual paper check, those payments are going to continue going out through January 11th of 2022. West, how do you apply for rent relief? You're going to, I've got it linked in the description down below. You can just type housing is key into your search engine, and it's actually better now. You can ask for help with future rent right on the online application. So housingiskey.com, if you type in housingiskey.com, that actually will redirect, I think it's to housing.ca.gov. Um, but that will get you to the Housing is Key program where you can apply for rent relief and rental assistance. Hello, Christian. I love podcasts. I haven't seen you here in a while. You're still seeking employment. It's so hard to get a call back. I am going to be doing some resume tip videos. Make sure that you're on LinkedIn. I have this here, sample resumes, resume template 1. So make sure if you are applying online, I thought when they said make your resume stand out, that it meant make it not like literally look like this. But I guess that there's like this system called the ATS, the automatic tracking system, that is going to scan your resume for like keywords. And this is from the Harvard something or other. Harvard University. I Googled something that I found from TikTok, which was Harvard's list of resume words. I don't see the list of resume words here though. Should we go through some of these? Make sure. How about this? Top 6 resume mistakes: spelling and grammar, which I've been guilty of, missing email and phone information, so make sure that's correct, using passive language instead of action words, not well organized, concise, or easy to skim, not demonstrating results, and too long. Do be consistent in format and content. Oh, no weird fonts either, I was told. Make it easy to read and follow, balancing white space. The heck? Use consistent spacing, underlining, italics, bold, and capitalization for emphasis. List headings such as experience in order of importance. Within headings, list information in reverse chronological order, most recent first. Avoid gaps such as a missing summer. Be sure that your formatting will translate properly if converted to a PDF. Also, another quick resume tip is going to be, and I didn't know this, but I've got a couple of resume videos coming up. When you're sending it out, don't send it as Shelly resume. You want to, oh, actually, sorry, you do want to save it as like Shelly resume, but don't just save it as resume 2021. I guess like if they, if you go in a maybe pile or something like that, they want to like remember your name. So yeah, just do like this to me is a dull resume, but like I guess this would pass through the where's the list of words? Why didn't that pop up? Oh, here's the list of words. Action. This is the whole list of words that are apparently good to use on a resume. Ooh, technical, helping, organizational, communication, leadership. Ooh, action verbs for your resume. Look up Harvard's list of action verbs for your resume and try and tweak it a little bit. But yeah, I am making some videos on updating your resume to help you land an awesome job. Okay. Catherine, it simply sold some personal items. Does that count as income for this Golden State stimulus? Probably not unless it was reported on taxes and showed up on your adjusted gross income for tax purposes. And most people don't report that. Okay. Debbie Hall wants to know. Uh-oh, Jenny has not reported phone number. No, don't you tell her. Don't you tell her. Let me try and beat her on a video for once. Actually, I reported on the 134 trick before she did. But when I reported it, I thought that you had to press 1341 because that's what people told me. I'm gonna call and try and get that video out today for once. That would be fun to get one out before Jenny. I've been trying this whole pandemic to like beat her to the punch, and it is rare. She is on it. She's probably going to be released. She's probably filming it right now. It'll be released. Her video on the new hours of the EDD will be released by the time we're done with this live. No, get her the information. If she can get the honestly, my goal is to help as many people as possible. And if she can turn out that video faster and it helps people, then I am very happy for that. Does Shelly work at the AMC? Shelly does not work at the AMC. All right. And then this is going to be the last question. Oh, and guys, yes, I will be live tomorrow, Monday night at 9 p.m. Yeah, I can find out for sure. I'm gonna call them right now and see what I hear. Maybe, I should probably record the sound. Yeah. I don't know. I gotta punch up these videos a little bit. I gotta try some new things. But okay, so the movie update. So what did we open this week? The Last Duel. And that's been doing pretty good. The Bond movie is still number one, No Time to Die. We are not quite as busy this weekend as we were last weekend. My little heart is broken. And probably the movie that I am actually most interested in checking out right now. There's a lot of good stuff coming up. Yep, Dune is the week next week. I'm not ready. Also the new Wes Anderson movie, French Dispatch. I keep calling it French Exit, and my boss gets really mad. But my boss's boss told me she's calling it French Connection on accident. So I have to tell him that yes, Halloween Kills opened this weekend. The Bond movie was still number one for us. The movie that I'm most interested in. Now I do love Halloween, but I don't love scary. Mass was good. Yeah, so Mass is gonna be heavy though, and I don't know if people are into that. Mass has like the mean lady from what is that called? Where they wear the red? Handmaid's Tale, and they just sit at a table and they have like it's about a couple. It's about two couples. One's son was a shooter and killed the other couple's son, and so like it's like it looks hectic and tense. And it looks so good. And PS, like I never know like the names of actors. I am the worst. I love the people I work with. I'm not like the best movie buff, but that's not the movie that I'm most excited about either. The one that I'm really excited to see is actually a documentary called Rescue. You guys remember like when the kids were trapped in the cave in Thailand? So this is a documentary about that, and I think it's produced. National Geographic is somehow involved. And the National Geographic films are beautiful, right? They are just beautiful. So, I know that's gonna be great. But if that is playing near you, definitely watch that. Okay, Diana says, "Unemployment paid me, for 2 years, and they just disqualified an entire year. Please help. What are my chances if I appeal?" It's so hard to say. Um, that would be an overpayment situation, and if it was no fault of your own, they are supposed to waive it. Francis, just let me know when you want to see the Last Duel and we will make that happen. Oh, Happy Day says, so no federal extension or other EDD benevolence. No, there's nothing else coming from the EDD right now. The acting was incredible for Mass. Lamb was also very interesting and I loved it. I feel like I know you. Lamb. Lamb is supposed to be a horror movie about lambs or about people that can't have children, and so instead they have lambs, but they're also horror. Don't listen to my movie theater descriptions, guys. Don't do that. Because they're gonna be like that. They're gonna be like, it's a horror movie about lambs. And anyway, Rescue. I'm excited about the film Rescue, and we weren't as busy as we were last weekend. Shelly does not work at AMC, and Shelly will be on tomorrow, and Debbie, I'm gonna hang up. I'm gonna hang up this video right now, and I'm gonna call the EDD and see what happens with that. See what message I get. I'll press the right buttons this time. You'd figure I would know the buttons to press by this point in this, but yeah, I accidentally pressed that I wanted to telecert instead of speak to someone. I will also reach out to my contact and see what they have to say. And thank you guys so much for watching Shelly's Millions. I will see you tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Let me know if you have resume questions. I love podcast. Google the Harvard list of action words. Let's tune up your resume. Let's tune up my resume just to be on the safe side. Never hurts, right? Okay. Thanks, guys, for watching. I will see you next time.